So we've got our two lines hooked under here to the P and the T ports on the valve, and you have to figure out how to run them through. We went right down through here by the motor mount. Let's see if you can see them here. And underneath the track, or through, kind of through the frame of the tractor. You have to stay away from the drive shaft. And on the back there on the rear differential, there's actually a cooling fan. You have to stay away from that as well. So then I brought the two hoses right up through between the frame and the body, right down in there. Your T hose is going to connect to the right side of the block. And then the P will connect to the loader valve right up in there, the top port on the loader valve on the outside by the fender. You're actually going to remove the hose that was in there on the stock setup. See, this is the hose that was in there from the factory. The 90-degree end was up in here, and then the straight end was attached there on the right side of the block. So this hose will come completely out. You won't need it. Hold on to it in case you ever decide to take it off. Here's where we're working, inside the right-hand fender well, rear fender well. Now this kit comes with a 45-degree elbow, I guess you could call it an adapter. And according to the way I read the instructions, it tells you to put the 45 here. When you don't actually need it there, the hose will come straight up and hook directly to it. Where you need the adapter is up in here. And you actually don't need a 45, you need a 90 in order to hook that hose. Because the hose, you got to come up through the back side of this bracket and come right over here to where this fitting is at. You're going to put your 90-degree adapter on here, which will angle it in behind this bracket. And you will be able to attach your hose. Okay, your bulkhead mounting bracket is actually going to mount on the right side of the loader arm, or the loader torque tube. And your hoses that come from your valve will come across from over this side, and they'll actually route up and across here, and then they've got 90s on them that go into here, so that you can have your quick disconnects to disconnect your attachment from the tractor itself. So you're going to put the U-bolt on, you're going to rotate that to give yourself plenty of room for those hoses to get behind there, and you're going to torque these nuts to 20 foot-pounds of torque. So now you've got a set of quick disconnects here at the loader solenoid that we installed earlier, so that if you remove the loader from the tractor, you disconnect these two quick disconnects, and these hoses will actually stay with the loader. Then you'll have a set of quick disconnects up front over there, so that you can disconnect them and remove your attachment from the tractor and leave the loader hooked to the tractor itself. So you'll attach your two fittings that came with the kit there. Make sure you put the correct ends. These hoses have a tapered fitting that need to fit these tapered ends on these connectors. And on the other side, your quick disconnects that came with the kit are going to mount onto there after you remove the blue plug, of course. And there's an O-ring on here that seals to this quick disconnect fitting. And so that's what it'll look like when you're finished with it. Make sure you run the 2 hoses when you come across from the other side. You go through the D bracket right there on the left side as you come from the left side of the tractor. Through the D bracket, over the torque tube, under the pivot rod, which is here. Make sure you go under the pivot rod and over to your bracket here with your quick disconnects. One thing I forgot before I hooked up these 2 lines, I should have put the 2 dust caps over that first, because they'll come around and fit right over your quick disconnects to keep dirt out of them when you don't have your attachment on the tractor. So just make sure they slide down over these threaded pieces before you hook up the 2 lines.